Welcome to the Linnean Assembly 2026, an experimental convening of pragmatic practitioners and diverse voices on restoring nature in the UK, with a focus on knowledge exchange for nature restoration. I'm Rob York, your environmental communicator, commentator, and tonight, or this morning, moderator, as well as sheepdog. So not always very popular when I'm chivying you around, keeping to time, bringing you back into the room. So you don't have to like me, but that's part of my role. Now, I could start the assembly with a well-worn phrase, but I won't. And I'm going to come to that shortly. Because this assembly is about action. There's new neuroscience informing us that actually information does not always lead to change and action, especially if it's negative knowledge. This doesn't drive behavior change. Today, we're going to explore stuff around nature restoration activity. What works? What doesn't work? Just as important. Especially the stuff that's perhaps below the radar. The quiet, humble actions being delivered at differing scales, as well as the flagship stuff. The room, of course, may already know that. Who is in the room? Okay, a little bit of interaction. Let's start with scientists. Hands up, please. How many scientists have we got, roughly? Okay, 1, 2, yeah, 10, 12. I won't ask what discipline. How many, let's just go straight to, I'm going to call farmers, land managers, I'm going to use the phrase land practitioners. That could be rangers, farmers, foresters, gamekeepers, wildlife wardens. Hands up, please. Okay, 6, 8, 10, okay, right there. What else? Civil servants, environmental civil servants. Okay, we don't have to get too far on. What about random people? Yes, thank you very much. Random people just come in off the street, not quite sure if they're in the right room. Any? Yes, we got brilliant, perfect. So we have a good diversity. Okay, I'm going to ask. There's a little more interaction here. Who's open-minded? Yes, the room. Yeah, okay. Okay. On a spectrum of 0 to 10, just how open-minded are you? 10 is obviously open-minded, lower the scale, still open-minded, but thinking about it. So who's on the kind of 9, 10 scale? Okay, there's a few there. What about kind of 5 or 6 scale? Okay. Oh, that's good, yeah. Because my final question is, when was the last time that you changed your mind about something that you felt very passionately about? Okay, we've got room to maneuver there. Not many hands going up. 1 there, thank you, 2 there. That's excellent. Oh yes, that phrase I didn't mention at the start. Because this assembly is slightly less about the phrase nature depleted headline. And indulge me for one moment while I set the scene. That phrase, nature depleted, came out as a media headline in 2016 from the State of Nature report, which was based itself on a short research paper modeling biodiversity intactness within southern African states, based on pre-industrialized, near pristine condition. So are we surprised that the UK is a little bit low down in the biodiversity intactness index? When farming arrived about 5,000 years ago in the UK, who actually wanted to continue being a hunter-naturalist if food could be provided from a farm? Nelson, Lord Nelson, where would you like your navy constructed from? Oh, well, 150 years ago, the Forest of Dean didn't really exist. Let's wind forward. 1861 was an interesting year. That was when the population in the UK went over 50% living in urban areas, around the same time as Industrial Revolution. China just passed that 50% mark in 2012. So the UK has been ahead on the industrial stuff. Throw in a couple of world wars, U-boats staking out a little rocky island on the west side of the Atlantic, and you get the sense that the island mentality meant that food production was slightly high up the agenda. The Green Revolution trounced the Malthusian theory that population growth would outstrip food supply, saved millions of lives, but, and it's quite a big but, it did result in the unfortunate wicked problem of a negative impact on the environment. And that's what we're going to grapple with today. We acknowledge it. We acknowledge this declines, but we're going to look at the focus on the action as to what we can do. We're looking to progress within restoring nature. We have some excellent speakers on the adaptive topic sessions. They're not going to be given presentations. This is very much an assembly dialogue, because that includes you, the audience. This is going to be interactive, but there will be house rules. I'm just going to come on to those. I'm almost done, keeping to time. So, the important thing is, park your passion, you're passionate, for a moment. Make room for other people with a passion. Let others in with whom you may disagree. Allow diversity of opinion. As a Prime Minister recently said, respect for other views, principle, pragmatic progress, recognizing that interests may diverge, and not every interested party will share all of our values. Let's be realistic. Nature is not without its tensions. This is less about wildlife, human conflict. This is more about human interest, tension. Who likes gooseberries? Oh, a lot of hands there. That's very interesting. Because there was a luminary of the Linnean Society. He certainly valued his gooseberry pie. On the 8th of August, 1731, the Reverend Gill, as he signed his letters, you know who I'm referring to, Gilbert White, his letters I think are possibly next door, entered into his diary, "We have shot 31 blackbirds and saved our gooseberries." So this esteemed place of scientific learning is no stranger to robust discussions. And so on that premise, the house rules can be quite strict because there is so much knowledge in the room. There is so much passion in this room. So when the interaction occurs, make your questions or interventions contextual to the subject and on topic. Keep them pithy, no mission statements, please. I have instructed the two lovely microphone carriers, Michael and Kate, who's just volunteered, to remove the microphone from you if I do that or that. Okay, so keep it pithy, think about your question, don't ramble. And I also will keep it moving around. So if someone asks one question, they want to ask another one, I'll be looking for those voices that haven't asked a question first. Quite controlling, I apologize. I will moderate because we're seeking to get a range of views from a range of people as well as cover as much ground as possible. Run with the hare, but not go down rabbit holes. I want to hear your views, but I'm afraid to say no political views, please. A little bit off agenda. I think we've probably heard quite a lot of politics right now, but certainly not in this space. Nature restoration is political with a small p by definition, but we're not going to do politics in any form. I will cut that off quite early on. I want to hear about your careers. I want to hear about your experiences, not just for whom you work, about all the other experiences or action that you know what others are doing. There's no need to hear about your affiliation, for whom you work or who you represent. It's about what you know. And for that reason, I'm not going to introduce the speakers with a 3-minute bio. I'm just going to say their name, and it's up to them to go from there. I have briefed the panelists a little bit to stay focused on solutions and actions. This is not showcasing. This is about sharing knowledge with a list of ambitious, pragmatic actions, outcomes at the end of today, convened with you guys. Because we are not doomsayers of nature's decline. We are doers of nature's recovery. As George Patton said, never tell people how to do things. Tell them what to do, and they will surprise you with their ingenuity. This day is all about exploring, tapping into that undiscovered quite often, ingenuity around restoring nature across Britain.